All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video, just reading the comment section of this video that I spoke about in a previous video that I did, where a female, a woman unalived her husband during a family barbecue, man, because she found out he was so-called cheating, right? According to what women think adultery is, right? Which is a man sleeping with another woman. Now, I need to go back and watch the whole story of this because I had it on in the background while I was doing a previous video. But what women call adultery, right? And you're going to see the comments because I was reading some of the comments. What women think adultery is, right, is not adultery, right? And the way how the relationships in this society are set up are pretty much a rigged game against men, because women don't even go up to men most of the time and approach them anyway. But if they want men to approach them, all they have to do is look in men's face more when they go out in public, right? Wear nicer clothes, show a bit of cleavage, show a bit of leg, wear clothes that make their ass be more on display, and then the men are gonna show up to places where they know that men go, and then men are gonna show up, and they think they're slick, and they think, oh, I turn the men down. Yeah, okay, you're to keep doing this stuff until the man that you won't turn down shows up. That's the point. But they think they're slick, man. Right? They think they're slick, and they're quick to call men out and try and say that men are cheating and all this stuff, but they ain't no cheating. He got it fair and square. Cheating ain't a real thing. Is it adultery, or was it adultery, or was it not adultery? But they think they can make their own rules. But they're the main ones that are adulterers in their first place anyway, because their body counts are not one. I saw a little snippet of a Fresh and Fit podcast, and the woman was talking about how she's been in a relationship for 6 years with the same guy as she was 21. She's been in a relationship for 6 years with the same guy since she was 15, right? So then one of the guys was like, "What?" He said, "Watch this. Watch your body count." And she said, "I'm not gonna go into that. Why? Why? Shouldn't your body count be one?" And then she's talking about, "Oh well, I just don't want to talk about my body count." He's like, "What are you on about? You've been in the same relationship for 6 years, and you since you was 15, your body count should be one." He's like, "Yeah, well, how do you know I'm not a virgin?" So clearly she's been sleeping with other people while she's in that relationship. Clearly, because why would your body count not be one? Why wouldn't you say your body count is one? If a woman's body count is one, right, and she's still with the guy, she'd happily admit that. You know what I mean? But it just shows that they're full of shit, man. Anyway, let's read some of these comments, man. I want to get some of the comments where the women are agreeing. They're agreeing that, oh, these guys deserve to have that, but they don't know what they're talking about. And that shows that if the right circumstances was there, they'd do that as well. 1 second, man. Let me see if I can find any of their comments where the people are trying to justify this. 1 second. All right, here we go. I think this was the one. So the person wrote, "Stop trying to justify unaliving because someone's feelings was hurt. She could have left senseless." And someone wrote back, "Tell that to the men who never just leave." But here's the thing, according to the scriptures, right, which we know you people don't believe in, one situation would call for that, but the other one wouldn't. Did Sarah unalive Abraham because he wanted another woman, or did Sarah offer him the other woman? that's the difference between the women of old and you women now. Like, even when this is how corrupt I've started realizing that the women of this society are, man. Even when these women of this society will be like, okay, the man can have another woman, they want to be in the mix. They're like, we can do her together. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You can do her together. And here's another thing I've noticed about a lot of the women in this world, man. They think that them being an alphabet or in a rainbow is somehow hot and steamy or something. They'll be boasting about how, oh, I like girls too. What are you on about, man? So you're a demon then? They'll just say it bold faced, a lot of them. But then they talk about all this down low men stuff. But there's way more down low women, man. A lot of you women out there have did all kind of madness with your female friends, man. A lot of you have. You've got undressed in front of your female friends and all kind of stuff, and you think that that's cool. But men, we don't do that. The only way a man's gonna do that is if he's a complete straight up chichi man, man. But men get accused of being gay all the time in this world, even when they're not. Oh, they'll call a man gay because you don't want to deal with him. They'll call a man. This, you know what, man? Let's carry on reading this. Here's one person that wrote, "It's far more than feeling hurt when you're with someone that for that many years and you sacrifice everything, giving up your time and peace of mind. It's a lot more complicated than you state. If you haven't been there before, don't comment on it." But I wonder if this same woman would say the same thing about the men that do it, though. Because men sacrifice a hell of a lot more in relationships than women do. A hell of a lot more, man. A hell of a lot more. But they don't want to accept that part, though. I'm not excusing her actions, but it's often more than just feelings hurt. It's the ultimate betrayal, lost years, birth children, family imploded, risk of disease. Yeah, all women always talk about risk of disease. But women are the main ones that boast about eating a man's booty hole, bruh. What about the disease? It's disgusting to say, but what about the disease from that? I mean, oh, what about disease? Mate, y'all women be doing all kind of madness in this world and don't think nothing about no disease. I don't know since when you women started caring about diseases so much. Y'all don't care about no disease. Y'all will go and get a BBL real quick talking about disease. Yeah, right, man. Y'all women don't care about disease. Y'all put all kind of potions on your face with these makeups and all these different kind of things. Y'all don't care about no disease. What you want about? What about the disease from y'all being hoes? You worried about that? But it's just the hypocrisy, man. How many broken promises? That's probably what ran through her head, and that's what these women always do in this world, man. That whenever some situation happens between a man and a woman that ain't even got nothing to do with them, they try and input their feelings of what they've had to happen to them in their relationships. Because they try to think they could lock a man down into some rules of relationships that they've created of their own mind, rather than what the Heavenly Father made. Before this society ends, men are going to be having multiple wives, and the women are going to be accepting it. Isaiah 4:1, they're going to be accepting it. And the woman that won't accept it, all right, get away from me. That's what the man's going to say. Get away from me. Oh, I'm tired of having it how you was thinking. I'm having multiple women. You see all these women here? I'm their savior right now. And they're trusting in me to guide them to the promised land. That's what some men are going to have in their mind, man. You're going to have some so-called post-apocalyptic warlord men that women are going to be throwing themselves at them because he's strong and can kind of handle a few things here and there. Certain guys that might have a bit of money and are able to have a little hideout for a time, women are going to be running to them guys, man. They're going to be leaving their other man, their real man, and going to these guys, committing adultery and all kind of stuff. And then you're going to have the elect of the nation of Israel that women are going to be throwing themselves at them. And you think the men are going to say, "Oh, nah, sorry, love, I'm a one woman man." No, they're not. Because those women are going to be of the elect. Let me see what this person said. Hope all that you wrote there can balance the fact that those kids have lost their father and mother. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't comment on it. Whatever. Like, these people are ridiculous, man. Yeah, here's one comment, man. Here's one comment. The amount of women justifying this is outrageous. Y'all need mental health counseling or something. This woman is so selfish to kill, to unalive the father of her kids in front of them. shape my head. The issue is that most women self-identify and rationalize the world to their emotions. Facts, man. Whenever they see a situation go on between a man and a woman, they implant everything that they've been through in their relationships, and they can always find a way to justify another woman's wickedness because they will step in her shoes and be like, "Oh, I wonder what she must have been feeling that day. He probably didn't hug her and tell her that she smells nice. He probably wasn't paying all the bills." So whatever BS they have to think of in their mind. And then when they find out that the man didn't do nothing wrong, oh, but he was probably boring though. He's probably boring, just a nice guy. You gotta put some kind of spice in their life. You gotta spice things up. Oh, so be a demon, you mean? Yeah, spice things up. Things are gonna get real spiced up for all you women that have been looking for some entertainment and something fun in your life. When the day of the Lord comes, man, all the spice in life that you could hope for is gonna be there in that day, man. Let's carry on reading this. The world to their emotions. So a lot of women seeing this video can mostly relate to her struggle. Exactly. That's what I was saying, man. Relate to her struggles, last situation, and how she could have gotten pushed to this point. You see, that's one of the downfalls of emotions, that we project our emotions outwards, and when we see people in a situation, we assume that they must be emotionally feeling what I felt or what we felt. Right? And that's what women do, especially every single time with other women. And that's why they could never be judges of this earth. Because the moment there's a case between a man and a woman, they're going to just naturally side with the woman rather than siding with righteousness. And that's why also in this world, right, the whole having a lawyer situation and the police and the lawyer situation, really, everyone's supposed to be there to find out what actually took place. There's not supposed to be no defense lawyer and then the prosecution. There's meant to be, everyone's trying to find out what actually happened so that righteousness and justice can be served. Not, oh, I'm going to defend this guy even though I know he did it. I know he did it. He told me. But I'm going to try and tell him, say no comment here. Plead the fifth here. Say don't even speak. Don't even, in fact, don't even defend yourself. In fact, wear this tie. Wear this tie that's this color and this outfit. And also, don't dye your hair anymore. Let it go grey so that you can be like, oh, he's an old, timid man. Make sure you don't smile. Try and show some kind of sincerity in your face and seem like you know what I mean? And then surely we can get you out of this or get your sentence reduced rather than you did it. So you're going down for a long time, man, or you're going to get unalived according to the scriptures. This society don't do that. And I'm not saying that people should be getting unalived according to the scriptures right now, but Yahweh's got all everyone's judgments waiting anyway. Let me carry on reading this. It says a perfect example would be the word vibe. It's become a trendy and common word that you hear a lot of people use these days. However, the meaning is like a moving goalpost. Everyone has different meaning for this word. So when you use it, you have your own meaning. When someone else use it, they have a different meaning. But because you guys are hearing the same words, you assume that their meaning must be like your meaning, not realizing both parties have two absolute different meanings of the word. Now taking everything I just said and make it emotions, then make the actions behind those emotions, and you have the result that you describe in your comment. Whatever to that, what that means, man. Some of what they said made sense though, but like, I don't know, man. But the point is that a lot of these women actually think that they're the man, and that the man can't is stepping out on them. They've actually tricked their mind into believing it. They actually think that they're like, it's ridiculous, man. These women actually really think that they're the man, and that the man somehow did them wrong because Esau gassed them up, man. All these comments saying she's justified because he might have cheated, but if it was the other way around, they would be asking for the death on a life sentence. Exactly. Women and Esau are very similar, man. Because whenever an Edomite does something in this world, right, they can never understand how justice should be served. But the moment Jake does something wrong, they all of a sudden know exactly the amount of years. That's 25 to life, that is. That's this amount of years, that is. But when it's one of them, they can't think, oh, we need to think about how this took place and what happened here. For the most part, man. Sometimes Yahweh will put the spirit to have mercy on a Jake, but most of the time, these Edomites want to try and get the worst possible judgment, man. The worst possible judgment every time. And then when it comes to women, a lot of the time in this world, when women see a woman do something, they always find a way to justify it. But when they see a man do something, they want the worst happen to him. Let's read this, which is very interesting. I've noticed that if a woman behave in a socially unacceptable way, but yet their strong feeling, emotions get involved, oftentimes it is excused, justified, or there is a slap on the wrist, or there is a slap on the wrist is given. See, I was thinking I can't read for shit, man, but some of the way how these things have been wrote out don't really make sense. If a man has the same response with similar, if not exact feelings, he is faced with a harsher punishment and is made to take accountability on a far larger scale. Make that make sense? Well, it makes sense in this way. They don't give a shit about men in this world. Especially you Israelites, man. Especially you. And that's why we have to maneuver the scriptures so that Yahweh can have mercy upon us in situations. So if you find yourself in a scenario, agree with thine adversary quickly, like the scriptures say. In Matthew 5:25, don't try and buck up. Agree with thine adversary quickly. Like Matthew 5:25 says, man. We live in a double standard world where only one side's feelings are considered. The other side is vilified. Hypocrites, glad I'm single. In the cases I've seen, men actually get lighter sentences, but I've not actually done the research. Yeah, okay. Keep telling yourself that. You're literally just talking and can't disprove his point. What is somebody see? Even with this happens in this world, man. Women comment or men comment on things, and then they just take their comment down because they realize they said something stupid, man. And then the thing is, with this woman doing that, yeah, like I'd be willing to guess that she's did something with another man before, which also goes into the hypocrisy of women. In fact, I'd be willing to bet that she wasn't a virgin when she got with this guy, for starters. But that's the hypocrisy of women is outstanding in this world, man, because women will have literally cheated on their man, but he don't know. And then when forget that cheated word, man. They'll have committed adultery on their husband, and he don't know about it. But then, if they find out that their man got with another woman and it's not even adultery according to the scripture way, they'll be talking all kind of shit. Because they think that the man's supposed to be, they think that their man's their woman. That's what they actually think, man. Whereas women in the past used to get their man a woman. These women want to be in control of so much in this world. They want to be control, but they wouldn't want. How about you be in control of? Okay, you go out and pick your man a woman, and don't pick an ugly fat one either. Pick a woman that you know that he would like. Go and find a woman that looks like you when you was younger, and make that be your husband's next wife. But wouldn't any women do that? No, you wouldn't, because you're demons, man. You'll go and spy through your man's phone and go and do this and that and spy on everything else in your man's life, but you don't take the information that you know about your man to get him another wife, though, do you? You don't spy on your man to try and buy him a gift. You don't spy and try and learn all these different things about men to be like, you know what, I think you should try and get into this career, and it would even elevate you even further. They don't spy on their man to try and do anything good for him either. They're always spying on him to try and take him down. They're not spying on him for anything good ever, are they? In this wicked ass world, man. Let me see if I can see anything else, man. I want to see if I keep seeing any comments where these people are justifying it, man. There's a lot of women that are going to get judged. Let me see what people say about this. All right. Benjamin. Benjamin. Which Benjamin are wicked demons too, man, by the way. And that's why Yahweh got rid of every single woman from the tribe of Benjamin at one point. You see what I mean? Here's a comment, man. Obviously, she wasn't thinking when she unalived her husband. She literally had a mental break, probably from years of prolific and systematic emotional abuse, coercion, and manipulation. She's also seemingly depressed. She wasn't thinking through. She wasn't thinking through anything at all. Now, this woman that said this comment, right? What judgment do you think she's gonna give if she was a judge over this scenario, man? What do you think she's gonna do? What do you think she's gonna do? What do you think she's gonna do, man? But she's making up things that ain't got nothing to do with the case. Probably from years of prolific, systematic. So you're trying to, and that's just her trying to impart her emotions onto a next woman's life. That's her trying to impart what she thinks she's been through with men onto another woman, and be like, "See, baby, I'm with you, girl. Sisterhood, the sisterhood." Which the sisterhood thing is a load of bollocks too, man. Because the moment any women see a man that you think's handsome and rich, y'all throw each other under the bus to try and get with him. I saw one video of a woman, a so-called black woman, saying that she was with an Edomite guy and saying that she had female so-called black women friends, right? That was talking about, I don't even like white guys. I don't know how you could be with a white man. I don't know how you could. And then they both ended up, the two of her friends that was saying that ended up sleeping with him. So all this sisterhood stuff is a load of bollocks, man. Fuck all that bullshit. It's not real, man. Love, righteousness, all this sisterhood shit that y'all are coming with is a load of bullshit, right? Let's read this. It says, but she was, because she had to get the gun all the way in the closet where it was hidden. Snapping like that in front of your kids is despicable behavior. She is a selfish person. She could have just divorced him and co-parent. Now this convent man is unalived and kids will have no home. Here we go with the victim Olympics, and clearly one side of a tragic story. How you know she wasn't abusive towards him? Exactly. But women are always gonna try and side with women, and women are gonna always side with unrighteousness. Like whenever a question gets asked, and it's thanks to these podcasts that we can clearly see this stuff on a regular basis, man. Right? Thanks to Yahweh putting a spirit on you, Jakes, and all these people to make these podcasts, man. Because the things that the Hebrew Israelites say, right, are tried and tested as well against the world. But there's plenty more. But there's a lot of footage of the things that Hebrew Israelites say against the women, and women coming up and scoffing, right? But those videos, a lot of them have been taken down. And all these podcast people are basically repeating what the Hebrew Israelites have already said for decades about women, right? Because that stuff, with or without the scriptures, can be pointed out how wicked women are. But the scriptures really make it be more stone cold that women truly are wicked. But thanks to that, we really get to see the evidence that when women get put in a situation where they have to give a yes or no answer, or make it be a standard of something, like women will say, "Oh, women are too young," but blah blah blah. Men shouldn't be getting with women that are this young or that young, blah blah blah, and all of this, right? And then if a man says, "Okay, what's the max age gap that there should be between a man and a woman?" Well, it depends, blah blah blah. So you haven't got an answer. So you should just shut the fuck up then. Oh, these men are cradle snatchers and this and that. Okay, how old was you when you lost your virginity? And how old was the other guy? Oh, that's none of your business. Oh, men and women are the same. Women ain't hoes for sleeping around. Okay, what's your body count? Oh, I don't want to say. Why don't you want to say? Because you know that you'll be looked at as a hoe. let's carry on reading, man. Well, now she has the rest of her life to think about her unhinged behavior. Now she got blah blah blah. Here's one. How long did it take you to make that up exactly? And then here's one other person, always an excuse. Like, this woman's literally just inputting things in to try and make it out like, oh, there's got to be a reason. Surely there's got to be a reason for a woman to do this, because women are righteous and women will just never, mate. What was Eve's reason for going to the? I remember I seen an Israelite woman on Eve, man, with her hand, one of them hand on their hips, Eve's, and she was talking with some Hebrew Israelites, and they said, "Oh, but what about when Eve went to did what she did though?" And then the woman actually turned around and said, "Adam left me alone in the garden. He shouldn't have left me alone in the garden for the serpent to come and talk to me." And she swished her hips, done a 180 turn, and walked off with some sass. And I was thinking, these women are demons, man. She actually said, Adam shouldn't have left me alone in the garden. She never said Eve alone in the garden. She never said Adam shouldn't have left Eve alone in the garden. She said Adam shouldn't have left me in the garden so that the serpent could have came and talked to me, showing that she clearly in the spirit of Eve. And most of you women that watch the story of, I've listened to the story of Adam and Eve and the serpent and that, some of y'all are on point, would agree with that. You'd be like, yeah, but Adam probably was cheating. Like, you women are so insane. Hey, Shalakia, man. Like, these women are so insane that they made Adam a fake wife. Or Adam was with Lilith. Or Adam was cheating with Lilith, his first wife. What are you on about, man? What are you making things up for, man? Some of y'all women would rather believe. Hey, Shalakia, man. Some of y'all women would rather believe Adam was cheating on Eve, so that's why she went to the serpent for comfort, to put him in the friend zone. Or Eve went to the serpent to put him in the friend zone, and then he caught her on an emotional state and made her betray Adam. And then she at least went back to Adam after she realized she did wrong and tried to bring him on with what she did, and was like, yeah, you eat as well of the fruit, Adam. So she at least tried to bring him in. She was trying to do a good thing. He should have been grateful that she was trying to make him become a God, knowing good and evil. But instead, what does he go and do? He goes and runs and tells God. You women are demons, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, man. Let me see if I can see any more. You see, here we go. What I see here is a woman who is broken. We see these situations where someone is trying their best to stay together and work it out. Mate, men do that more than anyone else. But whenever a man, if a man literally gets even jealous that his woman is looking at another man, or that a man's trying to talk to his woman, he's told, oh, you ain't got no game, you're insecure. Mate, he's supposed to not like that. A man that cares about a woman don't want her to be doing none of that. But women will be quick to try and say, oh, you're insecure. You're insecure. But is this woman insecure then? Because she went full demon mode with it. But they don't ever, man, they want a rigged game, man. Women want a rigged game out here, right? What I see here is a woman who is broken. We see this situation where someone is trying their best to stay together and work it out, hoping their spouse changes, stops the cheating and lies. See, so I can just tell this is an ex-woman, man, trying to implant her life experiences into another woman's life. But then they never talk about their work husband. They never talk about how they be flirting their eyes, just that a man that might deliver a package to the house, man. These women are hoes, man. They never talk about how when they're walking through shopping centers, shopping malls, and they've seen all these different men, when they go to their gyms, they never talk about how they try and arrange for their man to get them a male personal trainer. All kind of madness that they do out here in this world, man. The amount of times you see women throwing themselves at these YouTube in real life streamers is absolutely ridiculous. You got some over here in the United Kingdom, right? Like these HS TikTokies, Ed Matthews kind of guys. right? Then you've got these people over here in America. You got the Duke Dennis. You got this one 6'8", the great King 6'8", the great geezer and that, right? You got all these different people that these women just be throwing themselves at, but they don't talk about no cheating there. They don't talk about how the women be doing that. Stop cheating and lies, etc. And one day they snap and do something they cannot undo. It's heartbreaking for these kids who will now have no parents. Plenty of people have cheated. Plenty of people have been cheated on. Like, I'm tired of hearing that word, that cheated on word. Cheated has become a replacement for adultery, because adultery and cheating are two completely different things. Adultery is when a man sleeps with another man's wife. Cheating is some new bullshit where a man's not allowed, is forced to go against his own nature of wanting multiple women. And then women are able to escape the bounds of the laws of Yahweh and are told you can be with as many people as you want. And the man better accept you having a 70, 100,000 body count and marry her. He better. Otherwise, he's insecure and he's not a real man. And everything that's about being a real man in this world is somehow related to something that helps women. It never helps the man for him to be a real man. It always helps women from their method of putting it, man. Let's read some more of this BS. Unaliving over it is a sign she's a complete psychopath. Probably why the man, probably why the man cheated in the first place. Not that I'm excusing that either. Listen, man, a man can have more than one woman, man. And here's the, you know what? This most 1 second, man. 1 second. You know what the most sickening thing about this whole cheating stuff is, yeah, is that this society doesn't care about people sleeping around though. So they make people feel comfortable with sleeping around at the beginning before they get married. So then the men are told, oh, go and sleep around. And the women are told, yeah, go and sleep around, girl. If he ain't got put a ring on it, then you're still single. But then they get told, okay, now you're married. And now they're supposed to stop what they've been doing for the past, mate, we're doing it just like maybe a year ago. And now they're married. And the woman's a complete hoe. Been ran up through, been doing things in all different kind of destinations. Might have been to Dubai, Nutella mode, and all kind of stuff. And then now, that man's supposed to be happy with her. The man's did all kind of things with all these different other women and that. And then now he's supposed to just be happy with this one woman. And he's supposed, and he's more than likely, he's definitely gonna have to be better than that woman in every single way. He's gonna have to be stronger than her, better in her in every single way, pay every single bill, make sure that he continually keeps getting more and more money, so that anything that woman might want in the future, he can pay for that. If she gets any more children in the future, then the children that she might have already brought in to that marriage that ain't even his children, he better pay for them and for his own. And on top of that, she's only going to sleep with him when she wants to. If he wants to sleep with her and she's tired, well, he just ain't gonna have to get none. And even though there might be some other women out there that would give him some, nah, you can't have any, because you can only get it from this one source. But if she decides that she don't want to be with you no more, but she's got an option to go and get a job, and she's also got the option to put you on some spousal support and some child support, so she can still get one of the things that she was getting from you, even though she might have committed adultery on you. That's how this society is. How are men gonna just stay accepting that, man? How long did you think men were gonna still carry on accepting that? And so now men are ignoring women in public to a certain degree, and you women are having to try and dress more and more provocatively to try and gain attention, man. Men ain't even really on y'all like that no more, and that's why y'all are on TikTok crying all the time. And the way how this society is going, men's minds have been so diverse against women that people are making AI women, man. You know how bugged out that is? That men would rather deal with AI women than you real ones. That's bugged out. That's wicked as hell. Let me read this. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying she has an excuse. I'm speaking on everything on this ever-growing issue. There was a video yesterday where this lady had repeated cheated and flaunted it in her husband's face. She refused to work. He was paying for daycare when she stayed at home and did nothing. He didn't hurt his woman, but he did snap and yell and trash the house. Tried playing the victim card, knowing she pushed that man to near insanity. So the thing, the thing I am saying is really not all victims are innocent. This lady probably tolerated so much crap her husband and so much crap her husband and finally just went off the deep end. Divorce would be preferred to what she did, but she acted on impulse, which is what makes these situations so dangerous. You don't know when someone may snap. And this is someone that they made certain points or whatever, right? But what they don't understand is that these are two completely different scenarios, and adultery is not a thing that a man can commit against his own wife. A man can't commit adultery on his own wife. If a man out there goes and gets with another woman that is a virgin and never been with another man in her life, that is not cheating. And that's what this society has got messed up. That is not cheating. That's natural order of how made things be. But women get offended by that because they don't like the idea of getting old. And it seems like they expect men to worship them. And that's why some women in this world, they do weird things. They start trying to run to tarot cards. They start trying to run and try and put their menstrual cycle in man's spaghetti bolognese, doing spells and witchcraft and all kind of wicked ass madness that some of you demon women out there do, but don't want to talk and admit the truth, right? Trying to take man's hair, bury it in the ground and all kind of mad crazy ass stuff that you demons do, man. And then y'all still ain't loved. Because you notice that none of these women ever try and make their man love them and just so desire them by reading Proverbs 31 and doing it. They never say, you know what, how I'm gonna make my man love me. I'm gonna read Proverbs 31 and I'm gonna do that. They always try and do it some underhanded way. I want men to like me more. I'm gonna get a BBL. How about you go to the gym and do some squats, or get some weights and do some workouts at home, man. There's plenty of female YouTubers that will show you how to get a big booty if that's what you so desire, because they've got a big booty themselves and they'll show you how to do it. But you don't want to get it that way though. You want to get the cheap way. So you're gonna get your fat stomach put in your glutes now, and then guess what? To maintain the body, you're still gonna have to do squats and work out anyway. So you may as well have just did it that way in the first place, huh? May as well, right? Like, this society is absolutely insane, man. This place is a bunch of bullshit, man. So lucky, excuse my language for all the swearing I've said, man, but this is a bunch of bollocks, this society. It's absolutely ridiculous, the level of hypocrisy. Yeah, I'm gonna end the lesson there, man. I just wanted to read some of the comments and speak about some of the comments because this is why women could not judge, man, because they would not judge fairly between a man and a woman. If there's a situation where a woman attacked a man, for example, and the man defended himself and the woman ended up worse off for it when she caused the scenario, they wouldn't judge that, right? They wouldn't consider that self-defense. In a situation where the law of in the scripture where the woman's supposed to get her hand chopped off if she grabs a man's genitalia, they wouldn't want to do that. They wouldn't want to tell a woman she's got to deal with it, that her man got another woman, because they don't want to deal with it. That if their man would do that, they'd be like, well, if my man did it, then that means I'm going to have to deal with it, and I don't want it. So, I'm going to change that law. They try and change it in some way because they're always trying to escape strict, concrete judgment, man. They always try and change like a set way that every single scenario is supposed to be happen. And that's why they try and come with certain rules that men have to do to treat women good. Or he better be paying all the bills. He better be making, he better be handsome, he better not be fat, he better do this, he better do that, he better be prepared to defend you, he better have game. He better have a good this and that, all these different things, whatever they want to say. He better not take you to no Cheesecake Factory, girl. But then I thought all women are different though. So they want it to be set things for men. But then nothing can be set for women. And that's why even still now to this day, women don't blame Eve for the world being like it is. They blame Adam. And they've made Adam a fake wife to talk about some Lilith. What are you on about, man? That's not real, bro. That's not in the scriptures. But they make shit up. They talk about they want a man of God, but King David made one of his wives be banished from his presence for the rest of her life and made to not ever have no children because she was running her mouth to him. He didn't box her in her mouth. He didn't put his hands on her, but somebody would have had to put their hands on her to make sure that that was fulfilled, though. Because what was to have stopped her then from running away? She was made to be forced to be put somewhere, man. But he didn't have to physically do it himself, but it would have been done by force, though. Because otherwise she would have been able to just escape. So do you really want a man of God? And Yahweh never punished King David for doing that neither. That wasn't one of the sins that King David committed. So y'all been saying y'all want a man of God. Really, do you? Because King David was one. And he did that. But anyway, I'm going to end the lesson there, man. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.